The location, the Cayman Islands. Time frame, mid-November, and the subject, trolling for wahoo with my good friend and noted marine artist, Kerry Chen. We were here in November, which is just about the start of the peak wahoo fishing down here. And our objective was to troll around Grand Cayman Island, as well as run to the various banks in pursuit of wahoo. It had all the makings of what could be a potentially incredible trip.
George Poveromo's world of saltwater fishing, where big fish don't stand a chance.
The Cayman Islands are located approximately 430 miles south of Miami. They're in the Western Caribbean, and they just come out of an ordinary deep trench on what they call the Cayman Ridge. You have Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and Cayman Brac. Pickle Bank lies approximately 40 miles off Cayman Brac, and that was our goal to get to catch these wahoo. The only slight problem we had is we were planning on running 80 miles from Grand Cayman to Pickle Bank to capitalize on these wahoo, but we had a very stiff breeze, and our captain decided on the first day to lay around the islands and see what we could scare up there. The winds were set to come down the day after, and it was going to be then when we made the long run to Pickle Bank. Our host for this trip was the Cayman Islands Angling Club. We were aboard the 65-foot Hatteras called Cayman Time, owned by Captain Chris Briggs, a local fisherman who has won more tournaments here than his competitors even care to remember. As far as the team members that were on board, the crew consisted of Chris Briggs, the captain, Nick Jones, Jacob McTaggart, Eric Rivers, and Charles E. Banks, who would all help out and work the cockpit and make sure everything worked according to plan.
Every single island I go to, right up there.
I think that'd be awesome. A little story on Kerry Chen. I've known him probably getting close to 30 years now. I met him originally during the Mako owner tournaments. He had his Mako, I had mine, and we would compete against each other. And we always stayed in touch and became pretty good friends. And I never knew that he had an artistic ability. And he came to me one day and he says, "George, I'm trying my hand at marine art." And he said, "I'd like to do a painting for you if you would allow me, and you critique my work and let me know what you think." A few months later, at the Miami Boat Show, I got a message that somebody left a painting for me in the Saltwater Sportsman booth, and my jaw dropped down to the floor. It was totally outstanding that this guy had that much talent in him. It was unbelievable.
I've been painting for about 20 years. I'm self-taught. I grew up in Jamaica and fished a lot. And then when I came to Miami, I fished more, started fishing tournaments, and I seen these incredible sights that I usually see in the ocean, and just stuck in my head.
I have the very first Kerry Chen original marine painting that still hangs up in my office, and I joke with him today. I said, "Kerry, once you check out, I can only imagine what that piece of art's going to be worth." It's just a neat story about him. Come on in, clear.
Come on in. Oh, yeah.
When we get the wahoo, especially. Beautiful.
Wow.
On our first day trolling around Grand Cayman, it was sensational, and we were zinging wahoo. We ended up having like 4 strikes and catching 3 fish, beautiful wahoo on top of that, and I'm thinking to myself, this is an outstanding day anywhere, and everyone's saying, well, it's sort of an off day, wait till we get to Pickle Bank, and I could only imagine how much better Pickle Bank would be.
And the plan was that we'd go to Pickle Bank, which is 85 miles out, and try and do that daytime fishing right as the sun was coming up.
George Poveromo's world of saltwater fishing, proudly brought to you by Mako, the ultimate fishing experience. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Lowrance and the all-new HDS Gen 2 Fish Finder Chart Plotter. Penn, let the battle begin. Starbright, professional-grade boat care products. Stick around, George will be right back.
Kerry Chen and I are off the Cayman Islands, and we're trolling around Pickle Bank. With the sun just barely over the horizon, we jump out of bed, we're in the cockpit trolling 80 miles off Grand Cayman on top and near Pickle Bank.
So the night before, George puts on his sunscreen. I'm saying, why is George putting on his sunscreen?
And I knew this drill. I've been through these overnighters before. What I did before the trip, I'd put my clothes on, put sunscreen on my face because I knew first light in the cockpit, I was ready to go to work. And I'm glad I did that because as soon as I walked out in that cockpit, the rod started singing.
Yep. All right. Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Another one. Double.
Carry double. And,
okay, go ahead. I need another belt. Get up in the morning, and sure enough, I mean, not even before the sun is rising, we got 2 fish on. Now I know why he did put on his sunscreen. All of a sudden, we got a double on. George's fighting one, I'm fighting one, and it's just chaos in the cockpit there, and we're teasing each other, you know. My fish bigger than yours, George, and George said, no, mine's bigger than yours. George, you gave me the wire line.
That's good. You need a little practice.
I'm watching Kerry, he's over there on a wire line, and he's over there, you know, I'm cranking this wire line, this is a lot of hard work, you know, I wish I would get it on the monofilament line, he's complaining, and we're teasing each other as we like to do. Kerry, just sit there and crank it, come on, you got a wahoo, he's settling in and putting the pressure on.
They're really biting this morning, they're stacked up, waiting for us, right on the banks here, here.
Well, Pickle Bank is 80 miles away from Grand Cayman in a northeasterly direction. The depth around the bank is 5,000 foot, and it's a vertical shelf coming straight up to 50 feet of water. It's 3.5 miles long, half a mile wide, and there's a lot of wahoo there, you know, this time of year during the winter months.
Look how streamlined that fish is. No wonder it's one of the fastest fishes in the ocean. Still lit up. Love those purples. That's how I get my painting inspiration there. Just looking at these things live, just as they're ready to come out of the water. It's just so brilliant, you know. Ocean zebras. Nice. All right. Oh, sweet. Look at that. What do you think?
Other thing about a
25,
wahoo,
30 pounder?
an extremely dangerous fish. Those teeth are like razor blades, they have powerful snapping jaws, and they can make very short work out of an angler's foot, ankle, or what have you. And equally important, be very cautious when you're taking hooks out of those wahoo's jaws.
That's an awesome fish. Look how thick it is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Sashimi tonight. All
We're
right.
forgetting one thing, Kerry. I got mine still.
Oh, that's right. All right, in the box it goes. There you go.
Incoming.
Why are you taking so long, George?
I'm enjoying every minute of the fight. I'm savoring it.
Yeah. Look
Hey,
at
I
that
got
colors.
a yellowfin tuna.
Oh my God, you got a yellowfin
I got
tuna.
a yellowfin here.
Nice. Now, which one do you think is faster, the yellowfin or the wahoo?
Oh, no doubt, the wahoo is.
Yes.
But I think the yellowfin has more stamina throughout
Yeah.
the whole course of a 5 pound per pound.
Oh yes, definitely.
Now, Kerry, I know you're excellent with a paintbrush. How are you with a gaff?
Let's see.
All right, now don't mess this
All right. Well, just step
sushi
back.
up.
Step back. There you go. Okay. There you go. All right. See, I didn't want to hurt the meat, George.
I mean, Kerry, that was absolutely perfect. You're,
I
you're as
just-
good in the gaff as you are with a paintbrush, my friend.
I didn't want to gaff the meat, man. Look at that. And the beautiful fish. Look at this. Look at those.
We were using heavy gear as you normally do when you're wahoo fishing. We had a couple main objectives behind this. Our spread consisted primarily of a couple of wireline outfits filled with Monell wire. The Monell wire weights the line, which enables it to sink. So when you let it back 200, 300, 400 feet with a weighted bait on the end or a trolling sinker somewhere in there if you wanted to add one, it would take the bait beneath the surface anywhere from 10 feet to maybe 15 feet. Wahoo are subsurface feeders, and that's why those wireline outfits are so good. We also had some 8 internationals set up to fish the baits right at the surface and just beneath the surface by maybe a half a foot or so. The reason we were using that heavy pen tackle is because you do have sharks out here. When you hook up with a wahoo, you want to try to get it to the boat as quickly as possible, or you might risk losing it to a shark. Secondly, there's always a chance at catching a blue marlin, so you don't want to sit there and hang up with a blue on 20-pound class tackle or 30-pound tackle. You want to make sure that you're matched up for the chore. And finally, we were substance fishing. We wanted to take some of these wahoo back and eat. That's the reason for the heavy gear.
The red-hot bite off the Cayman Islands gets even wilder. Kerry Chen and I will be fighting even more fish right after the break, and that's a promise.
The Cayman Islands are a very big tourist destination, and rightly so. Of course, we're here for the fishing, and the fishing is spectacular, but there's just so much to do. For example, there's 7 Mile Beach, of what is probably the nicest looking beaches that you're going to find anywhere. And looking at it, now I know why Kerry Chen really appreciates this area, because you have 2 or 3 different watercolor changes coming right off the beach. A lot of places for tourists to hang out and have fun. Case in point, the turtle farm, major tourist attraction. They breed turtles here. They release, I thought I had heard something like 5,000 turtles a year into the wild. I think their total to date was something like 30,000 turtles released back into a natural environment. Just seeing the turtles at the various stages of their lives, a very interesting day to, spend a day, if not at least an afternoon. Then there's Georgetown, the capital. Neat little city, plenty of things to do, walking around seeing the different sights, the shops, the restaurants, the lounges, bars. There's no shortage of things for people to do, and it's little wonder why these cruise ships come over here and people just have the time of their lives. It ranges from the most modern of things to the most traditional. Case in point, some of the little local fish shops set up right there by the water where the natives sell local catches that have just come in. And what even intrigued me more was all the tarpon that were stacked up behind, waiting for the scraps when the local fishing boats would come in and clean their catches. I'm looking at all these fish thinking, wouldn't it be nice to grab a fishing rod, come back here, take some of those fish scraps, free-line them out, and jump a tarpon or two. Just a number of nice hotels are situated right on 7 Mile Beach. We stayed at the Comfort Suites, which is right on 7 Mile Beach. Very nice, convenient place to stay. In addition, the person behind Comfort Suites is a major recreational sport fisherman and tournament competitor. Just one of the fishing fraternity here. Lovely place to stay. Kerry and I were in the midst of an unbelievable bite. It was nonstop since the sun had come up.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 8 o'clock, and then we're catching fish after fish, doubles. Sometimes I think we had triple hookups. It just was totally incredible. And I'm trying to think in my mind of all the places that I've been fishing-wise and all the great fishing that I've experienced. Did I ever have a bite that was this condensed and going off as rapidly as it was going on here aboard the Cayman time? This was nuts.
These things are smoking, Kerry.
This time I couldn't beat you to the wire or the rod.
And look at this. Mine's not slowed down yet. What, do we got a triple going on?
Triple on.
All of a sudden the wire line starts screaming, and Kerry's next to it. I said, Kerry, get that fish in the wire line. I know how much you like wire line fishing.
I'm down to the braid, look.
See that wire just being peeled off that spool, just violently.
Oh my God. And I'm just looking at the back and I said, oh, I hope this doesn't go any further. So I finally get that on and I could feel the heaviness of the fish. It's definitely not a wahoo. It's not shaking its head. And I'm thinking yellowfin tuna or blue marlin. I just want to see some wire on this thing. I'm worried about the braid on this thing. I got a long way though. Hey, this could beat your record.
Let's get it in first, Kerry.
You never know. Look, I got my wire back. I feel safer. Yours close?
Here's mine. Oh, it's a yellowfin. I think you got a yellowfin, Kerry. Double yellowfin. That's
a nice fish.
Yellowfin, isn't it?
That fish is the best one of the day, I have to admit. But let's see, this one smoked, it's real, I don't know, just right down to the backing.
All right, Kerry, take a look at this one. Think you got one bigger than that on your line?
All right, wait till mine comes in.
Yellowfin tuna, they run hard. They're streamlined fish, they're built for speed, and they have to keep swimming to get that oxygen flowing past their gills, so there's no break time with them. They'll fight you right to the end of that fight.
Ooh, look at that. He's smoking me again. Oh my gosh. That ain't a wahoo. That's a tuna right there. One thing about these wire lines, you got to fight the rod. It's pretty heavy. Here I am fighting this fish for a while, and everybody's giving me hell here. Come on, Kerry, bring in the fish, bring in the fish. Whoa, it's a nice yellowfin.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Not a 100-pounder, but get him there, Charles. All right. Oh, nice. Well, I think I beat you with that one, right?
Yeah, you may have.
What do you think?
I think you did.
Yeah? What, about a 60-pounder? Or more?
George's Tackle Locker. Big fish don't stand a chance.
I'm a stickler when it comes to maintaining my boat and keeping it clean. At the end of a fishing day, I take the time to thoroughly scrub the cockpit, as well as wash the inside of the hull and the outside of the hull with a biodegradable, environmentally friendly boat soap. Every 6 months or so, I'll take the time to apply a quality wax coat. But in between all that, I do a series of speed polishings thanks to Starbright's Boat Guard Speed Detailer and Protectant. This is like a furniture polish. You spray it on, you wipe it off, leaves the boat hull absolutely shiny, and I can do the outside of the Mark 6 as well as my outboard cowlings in less than 20 minutes. It's that good. In addition to making the boat look highly polished, it really comes into play when you're fishing hard, especially chumming for grouper and snapper, and you get residue all over the cowlings and on your boat. It makes cleanup back at the dock that much more effortless. Anything that sticks on the outboards or so, you spray it off with a hose. Anything that's still remaining, just a light cloth will take it right off. The same can be said about my weather enclosure. I polished that up too with a Starbright View Guard clear plastic treatment. This leaves me with a very sharp and clear weather enclosure. If you get any kind of salt spray or if it's raining, any kind of moisture, it just beads up and rolls right out of the way. So keeping your boat looking absolutely sharp on the water doesn't require all that much more time thanks to a couple of products from Starbright. Just wait until you see what Kerry Chen hooks into next off the Cayman Islands. We'll be right back.
George Poveromo's World of Saltwater Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, the world's favorite lure since 1936. Suffix, the world's most hardcore fishing line. Mercury, king sailfish, the pioneer of catch and release mounts.
My kind of fish
Hey,
here.
what are you doing at Blue Marlin? It's the Wahoo Show.
No, this one I'll fight hard
I bet
for.
you do.
All right.
We're fishing off the Cayman Islands and Kerry Chen hooks into a Blue Marlin.
This is my kind of fish here, buddy.
I
My favorite fish in the world.
I intentionally disqualified myself. I saw the marlin come up on there, and I said, this is going to be Kerry's crowning goal here.
Thank you. I'm glad you didn't hit me out of the way to get the fish.
You know, just when he thought it couldn't get any better, it gets better. A Blue Marlin now, basically out of season. We're here the second week in November, Wahoo time. We're in the yellowfins, and we're now hooked up to a Blue Marlin. Incredible.
All right, go ahead and back down. Oh, we got lines. We got lines.
Don't even talk a harness. Look.
Okay, don't be teasing me while I'm doing this.
No, I won't tease you. All right, seriously. Let's get in the zone here. I won't tease you. I swear I won't.
So about this time that I'm fighting the marlin, I'm really serious about this. And George is joking with me, and I'm telling him, George, don't joke. This is a serious fish right now, and I'm going to get this fish. So I have no harness. We're hooked up on Wahoo gear. I'm a little bit worried about that because we don't have a long leader, a little short leader. So we've got to do everything smooth and right. I said, guys, get me that harness. So I clipped me in the harness, and I'm fighting this fish, and it's jumping all over the place, and everybody's all excited. And I'm just waiting for this fish to come closer. Back down now.
There you go. Look at him out there. Keep on him. Look at that.
Coming towards the boat. Careful now, guys. Stay out of the way.
Whoa!
Oh, nice shot.
How Come on, Kerry. You ask for anything more than that? Somersaults just for you?
I'm fighting the fish for a while, and it does some incredible backflips. I mean, I'm just enjoying every minute of this fight. Not like that yellowfin with the wire line. You know, that was getting my arms sore, but this one, I just had adrenaline going in me.
This fish was doing what a blue marlin does best, making long runs, coming up, putting on a aerial display, back down in the water.
This fish fought you all the way into 70 feet of water. He'd run on top of the bank.
Still got a little life in him.
Yes, he does. Come on, get a beautiful shutter. Wonderful. He's legal. There's your
Oh,
fish.
look at the colors. Oh, that's what I live for right there.
Check this marlin out right here.
Look at that. Look at the colors. Purples and the browns and yellows.
Once I looked over and I saw the leader coming up, I said, I got to reach over. I just want to tag the leader with my hand,
All right, we got the legal. I'm gonna turn him free and we'll get a good release on the fish.
at which point would constitute a legal release. So if that fish came up and shook the hook, we had the catch.
Watch that, Bill.
Talking about incredible fishing, we got 10 wahoo and a blue marlin by 8 o'clock.
There it is. It's out. There he goes. I'm glad you didn't knock me out of the way.
I saw that. Was your fish.
Yeah? All right. I appreciate that.
That was the fish that inspired you to be an artist, and I wasn't there to grab that rod.
Absolutely. I would
All I
fight
could say
the whole day for one of those.
about my wahoo trip, to have a 2-hour window where we caught 10 wahoo at that point, 4 yellowfin tuna, and a blue marlin.
I'm glad that George got to see what kind of fishery there is down here. And he and I were talking and said that we've never fished anywhere in the world that had this kind of action on the banks so early in the morning.
The quality and the variety of fishing and the action
Beautiful.
that was condensed within that 2-hour period, it was unbelievable. To also experience a trip like that with my good friend Kerry Chen made it that much more special. It was a totally sensational trip, one that we'll never ever forget, and it keeps us talking that, hey, what are we going to do to top this? But we got to think about coming down here again next year and doing it all over again, and I'm all for that.